winners. Let the pros show you how to make money. General Manager Al DeMarco, a regular contributor on Fox Sports, MSNBC, and Comcast Sports TV, brings over 25 years of handicapping experience to the table. CEO Steve Budin, the author of Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, is the man responsible for creating the online betting industry. Together, they lead PickNation.com, your number one source for winners.
What comes around goes around, especially when it comes to betting favorites in the NFL. In weeks 3 and 4 of the season, the Chalks won a combined 21-9 against the spread. Next 2 weeks, the opposite. The underdogs covering 17 out of 28 games. Now, you would think last week, with 8 of the 13 games featuring road favorites, the Pups would still bark loud. But that wasn't the case, guys. Those 8 road Chalks went 7-1 straight up and against the spread. Average winning margin of 26 points a game. Hey everyone, I'm Al DeMarco. With me, Steve Budin. And together we'll be joining you every Sunday of the football season with our pregame shows where we break down key games from a gambling perspective. Today we've got 4 big games we're going to be focusing on: Carolina, Arizona, New York, Philadelphia, the Jets, Dolphins, and Indianapolis, San Francisco. And later in the show, Steve and I are going to be taking a few minutes to discuss the differences between Vegas and offshore lines and what is better for bettors, sports gambling or casino wagering. Now, overall last weekend, the favorites went 10-3 straight up and 9-4 ATS year to date. The favorites are now 56-47 versus the odds makers through 7 weeks of play. Road teams, by the way, after covering 10 of last week's 13 games, are now 5 games over 500 for the season. And the steadiest, most reliable trend you can count on this year held true to form again last week. Straight up winner, Steve, 11-1 against the spread. I mean, it has just been a phenomenal season. The straight-up winners are 87-16 versus the odds makers this year. I mean, if you knew in advance who's going to win the game straight up, guys, you've made a fortune this year. You don't need our advice. Now, the first game we're going to break down today is the Arizona-Carolina contest. Arizona, the big favorite here. And, Steve, you know, coming off the big win at New York against the Giants last week, which way you leaning here?
Well, I'm coming off a big week last week. 3 out of 4 with the free picks here on the show. But more importantly, 2 for 2 with my special releases over the weekend. Want to keep that momentum going. You know, Al, I just don't remember a season in the past where we saw this many double-digit favorites week in and week out. Carolina heads to the desert to face an Arizona team that seems to be hitting their stride. You got to like the way Carolina's running the ball, but I think Arizona is going to jump out to an early lead and force them to pass way more than they want to, and that's where the problems start for Carolina. Quarterback Jake Delhomme, 13 interceptions already this year, 1 fumble loss, and you got to be wondering, how long can this guy last as an NFL starter? Carolina papers are all billing this game as a huge revenge game from last year's playoff game when we saw Delhomme do his best impersonation of Santa Claus, giving the ball away 6 times in that loss. Al, I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole, but if you put a gun to my head, I'd say lay the wood here with Arizona, because the way things have been going, that seems the way to go here.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, Carolina last week, they're at home against Buffalo. And if you look just at the box score of this particular game, you'd see Carolina had 425 yards total. Bills only had 167. And Carolina had a 9-minute edge in time of possession, but they lost the game 20-9. That's what happens when 3 turnovers lead to 3 touchdowns, and Carolina missed 2 field goals in that game as well. You know, Jake Delhomme, you know, what can you say? I mean, 4 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions this year. I mean, he has thrown an interception once every 14 pass attempts already this season. Now, people will look at last year, you know, regular season matchup, Carolina won, but in the playoffs, Carolina lost at home 33-16, 6 turnovers by Jake in that one. That's why they wanted to replace him here, and all the talk was he was going to be replaced for starter in this game. They're giving him one more shot. I think that's a mistake. I'm with you. Lean toward Arizona. Would I put my own money on it? No. But listen, Carolina's 2-9 against the spread. Their last 11 as a road dog. And Arizona, by the way, they have scored 28 or more points in 12 of their last 15 games at home.
Kurt Warner definitely catching his groove right now.
And he got the momentum, too, after that huge upset of the Giants. Now, next game is going to be the huge NFC showdown between the Giants and the Eagles in Philadelphia. Now, this one, a virtual pick-em affair. Now, New York's coming off consecutive losses, of course, to the Saints 2 weeks ago at New Orleans and last week at home against the Cardinals. Eagles, meanwhile, rebounded from their Oakland debacle with a big win Monday night at Washington. Giants, though, have been the best money-making team in the NFL on the road, 22-5 ATS. That's regular and postseason play the past 3 years. And by the way, if this game goes with the Giants going off as a dog, keep in mind they've covered 10 out of 12 as a road dog, and they've also covered 4 straight at Philadelphia. By the way, the Eagles are just 1-5 ATS, their last 6 at home in NFC East play. And even though they did win at Washington 27-17 on Monday night, Steve, this offense continues to flounder. They had 13 points off of turnovers on Monday night against the Redskins. Deshaun Jackson had that magnificent game. He had a TD catch. He ran for a TD. 3 plays by Deshaun Jackson accounted for 136 yards for the Eagles in that game. The rest of the team, 53 plays, 11 first downs, 136 total yards, 60 in the second half.
Well, get ready, because this game is going to be nothing short of a heavyweight slugfest. Both of these teams have disappointed lately. Both of these teams have been banged up at key positions. But both of these teams have a ton of heart and pride and know that they need this win desperately if they're going to regain their momentum, as all of a sudden the Cowboys are contenders again and right on their tails. Little bit of a revenge factor here for the Giants. Last year's playoff game in Jersey, Eagles upset the Giants 23-11, and you know that has to be a motivating factor for them here in Philly. Al, I think Eli Manning, he's slumping lately. He comes back, but that's not the key. The key is the Giants' defense. They must get to McNabb. They must rush McNabb. I think they will. I think Manning comes back. I like Big Blue here. Back to Giants.
Yeah, I agree with you too. And I see the public money is going obviously towards the Eagles, but I think it's a big mistake. I think the Giants are the play here because I just cannot fathom the Giants losing 3 straight games. And let's keep in mind, the Giants hammered the Raiders at home a couple of weeks ago. That same Raiders team beat the Eagles 13-9.
That's a great point.
Yeah, one of the worst performances of the entire season by any team. A good team, what the Eagles did in Oakland laying that big egg. We're going to take a short break. When we return, Steve and I will discuss the differences between Vegas and offshore lines and what is better for bettors, sports gambling or casino wagering.
Steve Budin, CEO of the world's largest sports handicapping website, PickNation.com, and I want to take a minute to talk to you about Las Vegas. Spent my entire life playing in Vegas, so take it from me. There's only one hotel that captures the essence of Vegas, and it's the all-new Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino in wonderful downtown Las Vegas. Now you can get a taste of the high life for free because once a month at PickNation.com, we're going to select one lucky winner who will receive a free VIP high roller weekend getaway at the Golden Nugget Hotel. That lucky winner gets a high roller suite, VIP limo service to and from the airport, VIP check-in, and VIP seating to the Gordy Brown Show only at the Golden Nugget, and all for free. And here's the best part. This contest absolutely free to enter, no purchase necessary. Go to PickNation.com, click on the VIP Weekend Getaway link in the top right-hand corner, enter your email address and your info, and you can be the next lucky winner. We're giving away a free High Rollers weekend once a month. Don't miss your chance to live large in Las Vegas, all for free and only at the Golden Nugget.
Free. You can't beat free. And guys, I've got an amazing free offer for you today. Hi everyone, I'm Al DeMarco, General Manager of the world's largest sports handicapping website, PickNation.com. 6 leading sports handicappers. How would you like to get their plays free for 3 days? Today, tomorrow, and the next day. Free for 3 days. The plays of Brett Atkins, Chuck O'Brien, Joel Tyson, Charlie Sutton, Jay McNeil, and Pete Angelo. All 6 handicapping experts at Pick Nation are yours free for the next 3 days. Just go to PickNation.com. Click on the free 3-day trial pass. That's all you've got to do, guys. All their plays for 3 days for free at PickNation.com. And when I say free, I mean it.